So this is for the parents of students that are either transferring to university or college, or are graduating from high school and going to as a freshman for university or college. Right. This is for the parents, with the emphasis of the students not getting into their dream schools. It's unfortunate that it happens, but I think once we do the research and we understand that it's very difficult, very competitive, right? And it's only a chosen few. Wish we all knew how to make it all happen so we could, our students could, our kids could get in. We don't, right? But one way or another, a lot of first generation students are gonna get rejected, right? Sad to say, it's gonna happen, but this is where this is coming in, right? I'm coming at you at this angle of support, when they have got some rejection letters and are unsure what's happening, right? We as parents are the support for them. We need to help them out. If your child, right, is the first generation, it is much more important for you to please understand what I'm about to say. Um, I went to a community college, and that's how far I went. That's it. And my daughter right now is her first year at a university here in California, and she's about to complete it in a few weeks. And she got rejected from a lot of universities, right? Her dream school, Berkeley, rejected her, and that was the one she was most excited for. We did apply to many others, and rejected, but she got into many other ones, right? She got accepted to, I think she applied to 8. I wouldn't say 6 or so accepted her. I think we applied to more. Because there was quite a bit of rejection and a lot of acceptance, right? But this is the breakdown, all right? This is raw. It's not going to be edited as much, right? Because I'm trying to put this video out there before it's too late. And it's almost mid-April, and I've been procrastinating of making this since March. So please bear with me. Stand there and just listen. You don't have to watch, right? I know it's nothing pretty here, but please just listen, right? So, okay. They got the rejection letter. The dream schools, all top 3, top 5 rejected them, and they got handful of option B and C's, right? You, as a parent, you need to support them. We know we want to say, yes, we support them. I need you to understand it's more than saying it's okay. It's reassuring them, right? Reconfirming with them that if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be, right? Don't get me wrong, you could appeal, right? If you strongly believe your child is a candidate for acceptance in a particular school, appeal it, fight it, right? Because this could be a 1 year that goes by them, and you may get in if you appeal it, right? Of course, they get a lot of applications. Could be in a minor error, and a second revisit could help it out, right? But we don't know. So please support them, assure them, regardless, it's gonna be okay, right? It's not as much for the school as it is for the students. I want to say it was in the book of David versus Goliath by Maxwell, Malcolm Gladwell. In that book, David versus Goliath, if you haven't read it, read it. It's really good. It goes on to say that either you are a small fish in a big pond or a big fish in a small pond, right? Chances are your student is gifted, they're very good academically, and that will put them in a very good position if they go to technically any school, right? Um, if they are great, if they are competitive and are very good academically, they would achieve whatever they wish to achieve anywhere, right? Um, my daughter was number three in her class. She was president of club. She was captain of softball. She was, I think, in three clubs. She was a very active student, um, and it didn't work out. Right? I wish I knew why, but I don't. We thought we had high chances of getting to her schools that she really favored as number one. Again, didn't happen, right? So we had to be there and support her. There's a student, your child wants it more than you do. We know the value of education. Further education is key for us, first generation, to get out there, right? To understand how the world, how society works, how the community works. There's so much information that we don't know, right? And that's why it's further education. So they want it more than we do. So we gotta help them. How are we gonna help them, right? We are going to research for them, right? Now we're going to the B group, the C group, research what you can research. What about this school, right? What about that school? What are the pros, cons? What do we like, don't like, and why, right? As a parent, we tend to see some things much more strongly than what they do. But we could, of course, present them our ideas, but don't be too strong about them, because it's not about you, it's about them. And regardless, if you're gonna pay for it, it does not matter. It's about them, right? Because if they're not gonna enjoy their experience at that school, and you think they are, then you don't know your child very good, and that is setting them up for failure. Um, I thought we thought the UC Santa Clara, I think it was. Is it North? I think it is Santa Clara. We thought it was a nice campus. It looked good. She met doctors from there that teach in her school, and they spoke greatly about the school. But she didn't feel it. She said when she visited the campus, the vibe wasn't there, right? She just it didn't connect with her, right? I wanted her to truly leave up north. I'm from SoCal, but she didn't like it. So, oh well, right? So we had to go with the options. I told her, give us five. Give us the five options, and we're going to do research. We're going to see what clubs they have. We're going to see what involvements they do. How is their sports? Because she really wanted the um, big university feeling, because she came from a small high school, right? I think she said it was 120 high school students graduated from her class, right? That is tiny for Los Angeles standards, right? So she wanted that, right? So we found out which ones of her five that she chose it, but at the end, she chooses. We're only giving her information to help her break it down, because obviously she still has classes. She still has a lot to do, especially trying to decide this one big life altering moment and decision, right? So research for them, right? What they want. Okay, yeah. So do understand that we want to understand what they are looking for and how we could find it to complement and give them that information, right? Tour campuses either in person or digitally, right? There's probably a lot of YouTube videos of campus tours, but of course, if you can make the drive or you could visit the alternatives, do so is always best to really get a feel for it, because of course, anything that was produced was probably planned and got the best scenario of whatever day, right? The gut check, right? This is more 75% gut feeling for your child, and 25 for the parents. Yeah, take it as it is. I don't care. They have to feel is right for them for whatever reason, right? They know their generation, and if they see something, they found out some TikTok or Instagram videos about it, and they didn't like one thing, then let it be, right? It's their decision. Um, it's for it's for them, right? Um, you have to understand college expenses as a parent, and at least I know by some standards we cannot afford everything. So see what you could work out with those five options, right? And present them. Let them be involved. Let them understand what is the financial obligations that are gonna happen, right? And help them be part of it, right? If you choose, if you can, because I know sometimes they may feel like um, it's too much of a burden for the parents, right? And that was one of the concerns that my daughter had, is that she was worried that we were gonna take up on too much of a loan. But for us as a family as a whole, it didn't matter, right? We said that education was gonna be key, especially for our daughter, which is gonna, again, first generation, right? This is important for our family, so it didn't matter. We said, you go wherever you go, we're gonna figure it out. Yes, and yes, I know tuition and all that, dorming expenses are high, but for us, that is an expense worth going for, right? Other people, hey, they want to get a 60, $80,000 vehicle. By all means, right? You do what you want, but you have full control, right? But let them be involved. Let them understand what is in in the plan, right? So they would truly, they will be just fine wherever they go. Of course, that statement is much more true if they have the decision, right? If they say, yeah, this one's right for me, right? Um, she had the option to go to Cal State San Diego, and we were reviewing it. I truly thought that was gonna be her school, but she, for whatever reason, she said no. Right? She said, nah, I just don't like it. Right? So I thought it would have been cool. We love going to San Diego. We haven't been to that campus. The campus looked great, but she didn't like it fully. Right? Not good enough for her. So where she's at now is, she is bored of two clubs. She's going for electrical engineering, so she's bored. She just got admitted to board for two clubs, right? And since she's dorming there, that is key to success. I want to say, of course, it falls on the students and your child that they take the most out of the experiences, right? So her being there dorming, she doesn't have to drive home. She doesn't have to be here. She has no obligations but activities over there, schooling, projects, and whatever they got going on. Right? She wants to party. She's gonna party. She wants to sleep in, whatever. But she understands, right? We're in the same page of her obligations, her commitment to that, and us to support her and fully, get her through, right? Of course, like I said, some will join clubs more than others. Again, this is on the child itself, right? You gotta help them if they need to search for clubs. There's plenty. Um, Fraternities and sororities may be their thing. It may help them. Who knows, right? So as long as you could, help them in their experience there. Let's jump back to the rejection, right now, because it's still April. um, Try to not bring it up all the time. All right. um, we gave her space up until the last week. So we had it broken down. April, we have broken down. Like, okay, we got pretty much everything. What is your list, right? What is your top five, right? Let's break it down. Let's see what we could do. She did not commit to her university until 3 days before deadline. I think that was my first. She did not commit to it, right? So I didn't want to push the issue, even though it was killing me, right? It was like, girl, you need to decide. But this, again, she didn't take this decision lightly, right? She had options. And she needed every minute, every day to make up her choice, right? And that's fine, right? But throughout this time up until decision, we need to give them feedback. So have a 1 hour rule, right? I would say right now, mid-April, talk to them every other day, every 2 3 days, right? 1 hour, right? Hey, let's talk about it. Let's see what we got. This is what I have researched for you. This is, present them information, right, of their, options, right? Again, as time proceeds, talk to them again, see what's going on. But if they come down to the wire, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, right? We just gotta let it. It's yeah. So and just celebrate the effort, right? Reassure them that they can be whatever, whoever they want to be. They can achieve whatever they wish to achieve, wherever they go, right? Because they are strong. They are very fortunate. They could do it, right? Si se puede. We know that, right? Reframe rejection. Don't say like, oh, it's better, that they rejected you. Their loss. No, think, just stay positive, right? If they rejected you or your student, your child, let it be, right? We cry over it, we hug about it, and that's it, right? We gotta start thinking of the other options, right? Once the rejections came in, okay, let's be sad, but let's move on, right? Let's proceed. Again, if you're gonna fight it, but let's still, right? Let's move on with other options. And be patient, right? That's all I could really say. Like I told you, for her it was down to the last few days. She needed, her whole time, every day. But again, right? If your child is first generation, this moment is important for you as a family, as a home, and you have to be willing to, be there for them, talk to them, hug them, help them research, because as kids, they got a lot going on. Some when we don't know, don't forget that there's those scenarios that we have encountered moments of uncertainty, and we don't know what's gonna happen, and it freaks us out. We're worried, we're stressed. There's a lot running through our head, right? Um, as of course, as you grow up as an adult, you learn how to navigate those waters, right, and how to go about it. But don't forget, they're children, right? They're still growing, they're still learning. But just support them. Tell them you have their back. They'll be fine. If they wish to take the most out of each campus, they can, right? It's gonna have to get them out of whatever bubble they may be in, and that's a good thing, right? To go out and join this club, and that they're gonna do events or whatever. But at the end, right, it does come to this. They're big fish in a small pond, big fish, right? I could tell you that she is a big fish in a small pond, and that's very good for her, right? That's very good for her. So do with that information, and just let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Feel free, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I know decision day is coming up, so I wish you all much of luck, and please go out there, succeed. Right, this is for you. This is for your family, and achieve greatness. Okay, so real quick, side note, right? So she got rejected from Berkeley, but a few classmates got into Berkeley, right? And she keeps communication with them and see how everything's going, right? But one of her classmates, right, she got some bad news, and in the sense that she was not able to register for her classes for the spring, and this school, the representatives pretty much said, hey, maybe you need to sit this one out, right? We can't get you in. So she's gonna miss all those classes, right, for spring. So it's not always a good thing for these big named universities, but again, right, we never know the experience until we honestly go through it. So regardless of what it is, you could do it. They could do it.